Dyess, Arkansas was barely on the map when the Cash family moved here in 1935. Your dad walked this road to school?
Yeah, 2 miles.
Johnny Cash was just 3 when his parents were awarded one of the new houses the government had built for farmers struggling through the Depression.
This area was nothing. It was just empty land. And it was during the New Deal, the WPA created this colony here.
How many rooms are there actually in the house?
5 rooms. And
That's it?
the potential bathroom.
The potential bathroom,
Yeah.
which never really quite became running water or anything like that.
The plumbing was never hooked up.
Roseanne Cash went back to her father's boyhood home 2 years ago when Arkansas State University began to restore it.
This would have been my dad's bedroom. He would have slept here with his brother Jack. And then Louise and Reba would have been in here as well. 4 children in this room.
4 children in this one space.
Yeah.
Roseanne had first seen the house in 1968 when the man in black returned to Dyess.
We just wandered around looking in the windows. There were a lot more trees.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What did you think when you saw this place?
I sensed a kind of weight about it, a sadness. And at 12, I didn't really assimilate what that was about.
Did you decide later what it was about?
Yeah, I think it took me till now to decide, to understand.
To understand how Johnny Cash's strength grew out of the gumbo soil of Dyess, and that his sadness took root here, too.
He lost his brother here, who was his best friend and his hero. But even more than that, understanding what it meant to my dad now, I understand what it means to me.
Born in Memphis, but raised in California, Johnny Cash's eldest daughter had 11 #1 country hits of her own in the 80s. But she spurned Nashville for New York, where she's lived now for more than 2 decades. But returning to her father's Arkansas home started the 58-year-old singer on a longer journey.
It's lonesome, isn't it?
Across the southern landscape she'd run from and rebelled against.
It pushed it away for so long.
Why do you think you pushed it away?
I didn't feel at home here. I wanted a bigger world.
Dark highways and the country roads.
With her husband, musician and producer John Leventhal, Cash made a series of road trips across Arkansas, Tennessee, and the Mississippi Delta. A soundtrack would flow from their travels, an album called The River and the Thread.
You grew up and you moved away across a foreign sea.
I didn't know how deeply I felt about the South until I started writing these songs, or how connected I felt, or the people I loved, and thought were in my past who were still very much in my present.
On 2 unseasonably cold days with us, Cash retraced part of her journey along Money Road to Money, Mississippi.
Lonesome boy in a foreign land.
This is Brian's Grocery.
This is it.
We stopped at the grocery store where, in 1955, Emmett Till supposedly flirted with a white woman behind the counter.
He was 14.
14 years old.
Yeah. And they found him in the Tallahatchie River.
That's right. It sparked the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
To me, this is like visiting the Lincoln Memorial.
It's interesting, what's right here?
It's a vortex.
Yeah.
Robert Johnson's grave is not that far down the road. The Tallahatchie Bridge is literally around the corner.
Today, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
The bridge, made famous by Bobby Gentry's song Ode to Billy Joe,
This is it?
isn't marked by any road signs.
Oh, God. Oh, it's just fantastic.
But Cash and her husband had to stop.
We actually self-consciously got our guitars out of the car and sat on the bridge with our guitars.
You did?
Hoping nobody would see us. Yeah, it just seemed like you couldn't pass up that opportunity.
When you were sitting on the bridge playing your guitar, what were you doing?
pretending. You know,
I love that you
trying
were
to-
pretending.
trying to go back in time. It was heavy, you know, it was like this is taken on mythic stature in our lives, this area, the musicians who are from here, this song.
And drop them into the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
This is where John just stepped in back of me when I was looking out, snapped a picture. As soon as he took it, he said, "That's the album cover."
A stone is not a mountain, but a river runs through me.
Did you find it hard finding this?
Yeah, there are no signs pointing to his grave.
A little over a mile away, at a country church where service is held every third Sunday, is what's believed to be the grave of blues legend Robert Johnson.
I'm gonna leave my super geeky white triangle medium pick for Robert Johnson, but I hope he doesn't mind. A nod to the master.
And I ended up in Memphis, Tennessee. I keep my head down, I keep my eyes on you.
Cash's travels also took her to Memphis, where it all began. To the modest house on Tutwiler Street, where Johnny and Vivian Cash brought home their firstborn child.
I have a picture of myself sitting right there on that porch with the same door in back of me. Thinking about my mom taking my picture sitting here, and she always said she sat on this porch and ate a big bowl of cherry tomatoes every day of her pregnancy. That's all she wanted.
Kind of cool.
I know, it's kind of sweet, isn't it?
Thought you left it all behind.
Nearly 25 years ago, Roseanne Cash rode out of Dixie. But the road she left on has now brought her all the way back.
How to take the long way home.
In some ways, it feels like you tried to make it go away.
In the same way you push your parents away when you're growing up, you want to find out who you are, you push away your parents' habits, the things they treasure. You go, well, that's not me. I'm original. We all think we're original. But discovering those things that really connect you to the past and your parents and where they came from.
You feel stronger for it.
I feel stronger for it. I feel whole for it.
Long way